running a city of about 15 million is not a joke.
Absolutely.
The next person who is stressed after the chief minister is the Commissioner of Police Bangalore city. And it is very true. There is extreme corruption among the lower subordinates over there for traffic offences over there. It is because these people who collect this ill-gotten means, they have to pay these politicians. He is collecting money and feeding the politicians over there. Because the politician is the one who has brought him and put him over there. The politician today has hijacked the entire system.
Bhaskar Rao sir, welcome to my show. It's an honor and privilege to have you here. Before you came here, I had a lot of thoughts, I had a lot of questions that I wanted to ask you. But then I was feeling a little overwhelmed, what kind of questions I can ask this great personality who's achieved so much over the decades. But it's a real honor and pleasure to have you, sir.
I also feel very honored to be with you, and especially to connect with young adults who are going to be running this century and taking this country to greater heights.
Thank you so much, sir. And sir, the first video that I watched of you on the internet was of your TEDx video. You were a police commissioner at that point of time, and your name in the city of Bangalore has been running through everywhere. But to really know you, who you are in person, not many people know about you, sir. One of the things that I've observed is that a lot of police officers deal with negativity, criminals, and atrocities in the city, and which you speak about in your TEDx talk. Sir, what kind of impact has that had on you at a personal level, also at a mental level, sir?
See, we have all been taught to be a waft of fresh air at all times over there. So that's a professional area, professional hazard, occupational hazard of being amongst criminals, being in a negative world. But everywhere there is something called a human emotion. People are criminal, people are depressed, people are in a situation of hopelessness, etc. Not because they want to be there. Some circumstances have driven them to be there. So wherever, by virtue of the authority that I was wielding, I was trying my best to see how much I can reduce that negativity. So that negativity never overwhelmed me. So I was trying to see, I cannot remove everybody's tears, but I can definitely offer some comforting solutions and ensure that whosoever came into my chambers with some problem did not go back empty-handed. So that helped maintain my sanity. And when I was CP Bangalore, the two huge challenges that came before me were the CIA NRC issue, and then the COVID pandemic over there. I was able to decentralize the decision making, because if you decentralize, you let go things. Most often what happens that we want to be control freaks. We fear that if you are a team of 3 people, only I should be taking, she should not be taking, he should not be taking a decision. Only I should be taking and I should be controlling them. I left it up to the level of police constables over there, because this was an unusual situation. I told my 31,000 staff, you are the Commissioner of Police, take a decision the way I am going to take a decision. And understand what implications are. Don't just take a foolish, mad, hasty decision over there. Think the way a Commissioner of Police. As a result of which, the city ran so beautifully. I had to put about, close down, more than 1,000 roads I closed down over there. And over 900 auto rickshaws were fitted with mic systems for educating people. And people's wishes also were respected by the people on the road. That's my own people. I did not have to give micro directions, because this is an unusual situation that we were handling. So what I want to sum up is that you have to look for knowledge beyond what is presented to you or here. And looking for knowledge beyond that seeks your humility. You have to respect even the lowest person, thinking that he is also or she is also a person having knowledge, and such a person can be trusted. We think the other person is a fool, and that person should not be trusted. Actually, that adds to our stress. In fact, in the middle of pandemic, Dr. Devi Shetty, my good friend, called me and said, Bhaskar, I want to test your BP and I want to see whether how well you are doing because you are the Commissioner of Police. So I went to Narayan Hrityala and then had a good chat with Dr. Devi Shetty. He took my BP. It was 80 by 120. He said, this machine is not working properly. You can't have no BP. I said, city is running very well. Thanks to my 31,000 people there. And every day my work was only to have lunch, breakfast and dinner with my subordinates all over the city over there. Morning I used to brief the Chief Minister because the Chief Minister also was sort of stressed out so much because he was not getting sufficient support from Government of India. And he was being... people were judging him too critically. So those are the times when they look up to us. So
Correct,
because
sir.
we have a private audience and more than one occasion I have comforted the Chief Honorable CM said, sir, trust us, sir, we will do a good job. Nothing is going to happen. If you trust us and we will, and he trusted me and the whole year was a very peaceful year, 1920 when I was Commissioner of Police over there. I must thank Shri Yediyurappa for giving that opportunity for 1 year for being Commissioner of Police. Because you should create an atmosphere where you can get somebody's trust. And in turn, you should create an atmosphere lower below also where people also trust you over there.
Sir, can I just interrupt you here? And I want to dig down deep into this story because you've given us the value of this story. But I want to know the story itself in a little more depth because I know for a fact that the kids who are watching love that stories and that's how they can connect back to these values. So walk me through what were the biggest challenges. You said one was the CIA and the other one was the COVID time.
COVID time.
Yeah. So can you get me through some of the toughest challenges? We'll go back in time and tell me what was.
Often we have this one-day band based either for language or for price rise or some issue. They'll say we are calling a band. Now these bands means closing down the city. So closing down the city means you have to have a huge logistic preparation, have to call my additional commissioner, joint commissioner, DCPs and plan for a band from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then okay, medical shops will be open, newspapers will be open, essentials will be open, hospitals will be open. But this was days together.
Yeah.
Over a month, close down the city. Nobody can come out. And everybody is important in Bangalore city. And look at the amount of GDP it is creating. Look at the amount of software it is creating for the whole world over there. So how do you close down the city over there? And doctors are busy inside hospitals over there. BBMP was busy clearing garbage as well as handling the civic responsibilities. And the police department's work. Because I was performing a negative role of keeping people inside there. Now, with incomplete information, I had to keep people inside. It's not a day's band that, okay, you come tomorrow and buy your milk, come tomorrow and do this.
Correct.
People have to live, they have to eat. And there are so many have-nots inside the city over there. They also have to be taken care of over there. It is not just the rich people. So the police department took upon itself over there. I'm telling you, people about whom I did not have a very good impression or I thought were not very good managers turned out to be extraordinary managers. People whom I thought are very, very good crumbled and fell. So this was, I only learned that every human being given an opportunity can perform extraordinarily well if that person is trusted and given independence. My dog squad, Bangalore city, I have about 70 dogs in Bangalore city for various crime detection works over there. And they cook food for that. Our dog squad, DYSP Ningareddy Patil, was cooking food for 1,500 street dogs and we were distributing it over there. We were giving food to abandoned cattle, abandoned horses. Forget about giving food to the destitute over there. I had converted all the 140 police stations into 140 kitchens because hotels were not working. So the cooks were jobless and they wanted to do some work and they couldn't go back home because we had only 4 hours. A lot of them are from North India or a lot of them are from Udupi or North Karnataka over there. So every day I used to have out an hour's meeting and listen to the DCP. So the DCPs I used to tell, don't give gyan, listen from the bottom. The bottom has got a lot of issues and the bottom has the solutions also. You just have to allow them to Don't try to give gyan. I didn't want to give gyan. The DCPs would be talking to the inspectors and ACPs saying what the issues are over there. And then I used to talk, because I cannot talk to thousands of inspectors over there. And I used to talk only to these 25 DCPs. You have only 1 minute to tell me what are your most important. I don't give me lecture and all those things. 1 minute. So one minute each DCP had time. In half an hour I used to finish that meeting. Okay. After half an hour, what are the 10 things we have to do over there? My additional CP would be, sir, these are the 25 points which have been put up over the 10 things. So it used to be sort of an extremely distilled meeting of only action. No unnecessary gyan, no bhashan, no experience sharing, etc., etc. So as a result of which, these cooks, jobless cooks, and we have to ensure that the main markets are functioning, people are also able to buy. So they said, no, give them time only for 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening. A lot of IAS officers were, because I used to have a daily briefing with the Chief Minister also over there. So when I put up this, that okay, this is what I am being told, what is your opinion? My constables and sub-inspectors said that, sir, if you have a 3-hour meeting, 3-hour opening, 3-hour in the morning and evening, it's only going to lead to rush over there. So I told the Chief Minister, sir, let us open these shops 24 hours. He said, are you mad? How can you? Sir, that will ensure that people have trust in the system, that the system is working. At 12 o'clock in the night also, anybody can go and buy stuff and come back. So if you do it for 3 hours, 4 hours, as it is, we had this social distancing, masking and the sanitizer and all those things over there. How can you enforce all those things? So I was able to prevail over the Chief Minister by saying that let us extend the shops for 24 hours. That was one. Number two, from city market, extend all these vegetable markets to the playgrounds, because in the playgrounds nobody was playing, and we put these huge boxes over there, and this box thing at 4 DCPs only to ensure social distancing over there. I kept 4 DCPs in my city arm reserved, whose only work was to see that all through the day social distance, masking and sanitizer behavior was maintained in the city. That was their only work over there for the entire city. So these kind of to-do with high impact of people's well-being was well received, and we were not trying to sort of force them, etc. Then I took away everybody's lathis. I said, no hitting, beating. You don't need a lathi, no. You talk, drink water, drink juice, you talk. Dabur sent me 50,000 liters of juice, saying that, sir, these are anyhow not going to be sold. Why don't you give it to your policemen? So when you do good work, as you began with it, you're a good human being, no? And if you're a good human being at the helm of affairs, the whole system gets benefited. If you are a corrupt and a bad human being occupying an important position, even the good people working under you will suffer.
True, sir. Correct.
As Commissioner of Police Bangalore City, Isha Pant was my Deputy Commissioner of Police, and we did an online mental health campaign for all my policemen and women. It was a mental health along with NIMHANS and Bureau of Police Research and Development we did. And people must have laughed at it at that point of time, but at least we were able to make them speak what their mental health issues are there. Sometimes making people speak about the problem is solving the problem half.
True, sir.
I must acknowledge, see, if I like you, I should have the patience to listen to you when you tell me about your problem over there.
Very true.
You develop a connection with me because you are not going to talk about your problem with X, Y, Z, only when there is a connection. So if you have spoken about your problem, half your problem is gone. Today we don't listen to each other over there.
Correct.
So mental health and 1825 addiction, social media, you said, that's my take on that.
Sir, one of the things that I can relate to this answer and the previous one is, no matter what your merit is, the ultimate human merit is to be a nice individual. And that will go far way irrespective of where you are, what you have achieved or not. And you for one said, sir, when you were commissioner, you put the effort into knowing your people better. And you also in this statement said, by knowing your people better and just listening to them, half their problems was just solved. And I cannot stress enough that there's a beautiful quote which says, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Yes. So I feel somebody like you who's embodying that in a day-to-day life is actually impacting a lot of people. Sir, how do you think today people can just follow this small little principle in their day-to-day lives? Like, because sometimes 18 to 25-year-olds have to be taught to be nice.
See, you made that statement.
Yeah.
It's nice to be important. Yes, as Commissioner of Police, I was important. But the second part also is more important over there. But it is important to be nice.
Yeah.
Nice to be important. I was Commissioner of Police.
Yeah.
I was an important person. But the second thing also has to follow that being nice is also important over there. I do it for my own mental health issue because running a city of about 15 million is not a joke.
Absolutely.
The next person who is stressed after the Chief Minister is the Commissioner of Police Bangalore City. Because our work is like Sania Mirza and Virat Kohli's work. If I make a mistake, in 10 seconds, you will know I made a mistake. So, me, not just myself over there, it is the 31,000 people who are there. If they make a mistake, so that's why we are so much evaluated on a day-to-day basis. So, imagine what kind of mental health issues I will be having over there.
Absolutely.
So, all the time there is a pressure on me to be correct. And to be correct, you have to take the correct decision. And to take a correct decision, you should be well informed about all facts over there. And always being well informed is like being bombarded with information all the time. So if you are being bombarded with information all the time over there, that also is very, very stressful over there. Because a lot of it is important, a lot of it is not important also over there. So what I want to stress here is that being nice, which you said no, is the most important quality, whether you are a police constable, whether you are a commissioner of police, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a politician or anybody else over there. It is secondary whether you have attended somebody's work or not over there. If you have just been a good listener, that's more than enough over there. And I'm telling you some of these age-old qualities of saying that discipline makes the country great, honesty is the best policy, they are all time tested. How much ever you digitize yourself, you cannot compromise on these things.
Very true. Was there anything that was keeping you on track and keeping you on the straight line of your vision?
See, when you are when you reach high profile jobs over there where your decisions can impact people's life, there is a great need for you to talk to yourself and remain with yourself and question yourself and evaluate yourself and not look for external validation. Someone else should not come and tell you are very great, someone else is praising. If you are carried away by praise, no, it is a very, very foolish thing over there. So my routine used to be that from 5:25 to 7 a.m. I used to walk alone and ruminate on several aspects of my own decision making, what plans I should have, what I should be doing, what I should have done, what I should not have done, how I should be doing it, why I should be doing it, and how is it that I can use my authority more positively. So by about 7 o'clock, every day I used to finalize about 4 to 5 things I will do today or over the course of the next week.
Wow.
So these used to be very, very positive thoughts over there. And then with this, I used to go on the social media or on Google to see what are good global practices on these things, who has done what. And I have a journal, I do a lot of journaling, I write down a lot of things over there. So then I write down these points and see how I can make an impact. For example, I started celebrating the birthdays of all the policemen. It was a forgotten issue over there. Then sending condolences over there, means I used to prepare a format for that over there. And then who is in hospital, who is sick, because people are going to remember, my subordinates are going to remember not for the number of criminal cases I have registered, solved or convictions there, how I have touched their lives.
Correct.
Because when I have about 31,000 people working under me when I was Commissioner of Police over there, they are like my children.
True.
Their happiness and sadness is in my hands. So nobody wants to create sadness. So I look for ways and means to see how I can make my boy or make my girl, right from my additional commissioner to my constable, how I can make that person's life better or situation better. And if I make his or her life better, I am able to make a family's life better over there, so that he or she need not have fear or respect for me. He or she should have only love for me, in the sense that they should look up to me that, okay, this is my boss, he's like my father, he can solve my problems. So that helps me also to calm down. I don't have to get tensed up about too many things.
I think there's a lot of learning in the simple words that you just told us, sir. One of the biggest learnings for me was you have to take time to reflect. No matter what kind of a busy person you are, you have to reflect. And today's generation, especially 18 to 25-year-olds, are caught up in this Instagram, Facebook world of immediate validation. They want something on the move right away, and mental health problems are also popping up. Back when you were in your 20s, I'm sure nobody spoke about depression the way they're speaking right now. But I feel this is one such practice of reflection, maybe waking up in the morning, doing something good for yourself, that positive mindset, and you reflect on your decisions. You reflect on your life. You reflect on something that might be stuck on in your head. I think that's very important.
Another thing is that you can't do everything all yourself. You have to motivate people to do things for them. Then you spoke about 18, 20 to 25 generation over there. See, here what I would recommend, no? See, just like you have breakfast, lunch and dinner, and you don't eat from morning till evening.
Correct.
What would you happen if you ate between your breakfast and lunch, and if you start eating a bit something between lunch and your evening tea, and again between evening tea and dinner? You get indigestion. Same thing with social media. I would say that you keep some time for that in the morning, sometime in the afternoon, sometime in the night. There's no point in all the time if you keep doing, your neck goes for a toss, your mind is occupied, and you become an object of ridicule. You start insulting yourself over there. I am not liked, I am fat, I am thin, I am dark, because somebody else is telling you all these things. You are not deciding for yourself over there.
Very true.
So one way of overcoming this is that treat social media like lunch, breakfast and dinner over there. And sometimes you should skip your lunch, breakfast and dinner and fast, so that it's good for you.
Correct.
Similarly,
Very well said.
keep a diet on social media also. I will tell you, it will do a lot of good to you. You don't, social media should not dictate your life. Today it is entrenched itself so much over there. It is capable of making you sad, depressed, happy and explode with joy. All these things are not good for, ultimately you use the word mental health over there.
Correct. Sir, speaking of this, one of the trends or one of the things that I've observed is this younger generation don't see through the deeper layers sometimes, or even if they do it, they see it only in the negative sense. Especially politicians and police people, I feel, are the most misunderstood people on this planet. Because at one side of the game, there is a dark side of it and there's a white side to it as well. It's a yin and yang combination. But youngsters usually tend to pick on only the dark side. They don't see the light side because they don't tend to recognize it. And somehow I feel I see a lot of people, speaking negative about the police, because there are police who are into complete corruption, who take money, who would have done all sorts of things. We would have paid money to a traffic cop, but on the other street, the traffic cop himself would have been driving without a helmet. Right? And this is where the younger generation loses kind of not faith, but belief in that individual and that kind of thing. And the politicians is another ballgame. What do you want to say to these youngsters?
See, youngsters are not wrong. They are absolutely right. I agree with them. If they are angry with cops, they have got every right to be angry, because if they are, see, these boys and girls, they don't earn, they subsist on their parents' pocket money, etc. Pocket money. And if they're asked to pay bribe, they will definitely feel very offended over there. They will be ready to pay a fine, but why pay bribe over there? And it is very true. There is extreme corruption among the lower subordinates over there for traffic offences over there. It is because these people who collect this ill-gotten means, they have to pay these politicians, because the politicians would have put them over here to work here. So it is not that the police constable or the police sub-inspector is becoming rich. He is collecting money and feeding the politicians over there. Because the politician is the one who has brought him and put him over there. The politician today has hijacked the entire system. And he has done it for all the departments, but it is more visible with police department, because people interact with the police department. They have done it with the agriculture sector, they have done it with the sericulture, horticulture, revenue, irrigation, everywhere. But the younger people will not come in touch with horticulture department. They come in touch with the police department over there. So this negative perception of the police should not be doing all these things over there. And a police person can have a lot of what you say, helpful attitude, they would have become unhelpful and very cruel in asking for bribe, etc., etc. It should not happen. I agree with them, because it is the nexus between the politician and the policeman that such a thing is happening. The youngsters are not wrong, but everybody is not like that. There are some outstanding police person who have done very, very good work.
Yes, sir.
When I was a young assistant superintendent of police in Davangere long time ago, there was a very serious road traffic accident in which the child's mother had, it's a baby in arms, the mother had died in that road traffic accident, and it was raining also. And in those days we had very less women police person also. So when we rescued this child over there, one of my women police constables breastfed this child over there, because she also had a small baby over there, and we did not have the benefit of informing the next of kin so fast, and it took almost 6 up to 7, 8 hours for us to inform people in Bangalore that, look, your people have met with an accident and they have all died, and we are there over there. So till such time, the lady police constable, she breastfed the child over there, and then sometimes these beggars or these people who with no means have nothing to eat, our people, after having collected bribes, they buy medicine and give it to these people. See, you can't do it with salary. Which salary is it? So, lot of humanitarian acts have also taken place, but those don't get publicized. Over there. See, this incident, who knows? I have told this to you. Probably now the audience will get to know about this over there. And that child today is 34 years old and is in the United States. And whenever he comes over here, he makes it a point to go to Harihar and to see, because his mother had died. And this woman police constable, now she is retired also over there. He touches her feet and gives her something and comes back over there.
Wow.
See, these are stories which we don't want out of privacy to be told also.
Correct.
But I can only relate an incident. I don't want to get into names, etc. because to protect the privacy of these people over there.
Sir, so moving on, I want to ask you a couple of questions that also these youngsters might have in terms of their roadmap into the government, and a lot of Indians today aspire to become IPS officers, IAS officers, and I have some of my friends who are still working on that journey. Sir, you are an IPS officer as well, and can you tell me what is the right attributes one individual or student must have to say, okay, this is where I want to be and this is where I can actually look at my future? What do you think those qualities are?
See, at the very outset, if you not only just IPS, or if you want to become something, your aim, what you want, aim should be visible to you, and you should be moving towards that. If you have multiple aims and if you take too many routes over there, you will not be able to do it. Number one, to reach there, you should have that strength. That strength you have to build yourself over there. That strength you have to build and work on that strength over there. Working on that strength, academic is only just one part of it. Now to enter the Indian civil services over there, which is an extremely challenging service, which gives you with lot of comforts also and lot of opportunities also over there. It is, of course, you need to be academically very, very good over there. You should be able to express yourself very well, both on paper as well as in speech. That is your first qualification. Now, in order to do that, what should you be doing over there? Apart from your subject, whatever you know, I would urge that you should read newspapers, magazines and journals and be up to date on what's going on in your district if you are from a small town, what's going on at your state capital and what's going on at national level and what's going on at international level. So all these 5 levels, what are the current things that, so read what, whether read in Kannada or in Hindi or in English, whichever way, but do read. People are absolutely ill-informed.
Correct.
So current affairs, and then what is the state of economics of this country? You should be knowing that at least, okay, something when some economics is being talked about, like they say rupee is falling, or what is the state of agriculture, what is the state of industry. You should be knowing what is going on over. That is one. The next is, whenever you buy something, there is a booklet which tells you how to use that.
Correct. Manual.
So to run this country, there is a manual. And what is it called? It's called the Constitution. 99.9% of the politicians of this country have not properly seen and read the constitution. So that is why this is the state of affairs. Our constitution, drafted by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and team, is one of the most amazing constitutions for a multicultural, multiracial, multilingual country like India, and it is running well. And how it has been, our people have not read it over there. So the politics of this country, civics, etc., you should be thoroughly well informed on that one. And there are several books. I read D.D. Basu's Constitution of India, but you can read any other book over there. Fantastic. Then, what is the level of progress of technology in India? Technology in India could be agriculture, industry, space, ocean, etc. over there. That is most important. And of course, as young aspirants for any competitive examination, you ought to be good in reasoning ability, logic, and quick mathematics, etc. over there, and are able to write your sentences on current affairs, etc. And I would urge you to have good handwriting.
Comes back to the basics, isn't it? I mean,
basics in good handwriting, which our teachers taught on that 4-line, blue line and red line over there. Because it's always it's a pleasure to see good handwriting over there instead of scribbling. And because, see, you are selling your answer to the examiner. And the examiner cannot look for whether you have understood. See, presentations, it all finally comes to your presentation skills over there.
True, sir. And today you have handwriting analysis and things which also depicts the kind of personality, character
No,
you
of course,
are.
that is a extreme. The examiner who is correcting should find it a great pleasure to read what you have written over there.
Correct.
And you should be able to express your theory in practice and practice in theory, both, and
100%.
be as concise as possible.
Yes.
Not that ನೀನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಶೀಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ಯಾ means you're putting garbage over there. I used to get terribly upset sometimes when people used to ask me, have you taken additional sheet? I said, no, I have not taken additional. You have not taken any additional sheet? I said, no, I didn't see the need to take any additional sheet. But I have always scored much better than those people. Because when I took economics for my civil services over there, and when I went to few people in Bangalore, that was 34 years ago, they were horrified. Why have you taken economics? There are people from D school, people from Jawaharlal University and all the North Indian universities, they know better economics than you. So now I have already taken economics, what to do over there? All that UPSC evaluators want to know whether you can express yourself properly in simple words or not. And believe me, I got much higher marks in economics and civil services than all these D school guys and the Jawaharlal Nehru University people who were economics graduates and postgraduates, but they themselves took anthropology and public administration because they were scared of handling. I walked into economics because I had done my MA economics from Bangalore University. I thought I'm good in economics, I have understood economics, and I used simple economics over there to answer my questions over there.
Wow.
So simple, clean presentation is most important rather than using complicated words and languages and trying to. Don't try to impress with your knowledge over there. Impress with your simplicity. People will be impressed by that.
100%. And they say, sir, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication.
Unnecessary show off.
Why you have to do it?
Show off may get some whistles and some claps, but you lose your respect, that's all.
100%. Sir, I think that was a very good insight that you gave, and something that not many people would also, speak about or suggest, because your presentation, handwriting, our mothers would have been telling us from day one, and it's such a unnoticed thing, and it's very important, to get back to presenting your answers.
Some people think that it is examiner's job to find out whether you know it or not. They'll put an arrow, see last page, come back to page 2. No business. You are supposed to answer my question. Answer it in 2 or 3 pages and show it to me. Why I should go read your arrow, go ahead there again, come back here and all.
So the other thing, when my students in class, when I ask them, what do you want to become, once you graduate? Nobody says that they want to become a politician, but everybody has a complaint on a politician on something. And a lot of them aspire to go outside the country and study, which yes, you need that exposure and everything.